freestyle final, lane number 1 for British.
As a teenager, Derek DeYoung was one of the top-ranked swimmers in Canada. He thrived in the pool. It was his happy place.
It is lane 3, Derek DeYoung from Ontario, 52.62, a new Canadian Games record.
And he dreamed of reaching the Olympics. But all that changed after he started competing for Ohio State University in 1990.
The time that I was raped was at our first mandatory physical, and then I left that shocked, demoralized. I'm in this massive institution for the first time.
He asked his coaches to keep team doctor Richard Strauss away from him and other swimmers, but nothing changed.
We said our piece. We were not listened to. We were not heard. To a certain extent, we were told to, shut up and carry on. Get your job done because you're being paid to be here. We own you now.
DeYoung hid what happened to him for decades. Years later, while serving in the Navy, he was reminded of his school's culture of silence. Another officer urinated in his cabin on HMCS Preserver. DeYoung says his superiors made jokes when he reported it.
Triggered constantly for a month. Sleep? None. Not at all.
It finally got to be too much, and he flew home to Nova Scotia, even though he knew the military would punish him for leaving his ship without permission.
Just having some real rage issues on board the ship, but none of my past was known to them at that time. And here I am again, fast forward 20 years, but here I am again in another institution that doesn't know what right looks like. So I took some extreme action.
An internal investigation did find there was a culture of harassment on the warship and that officers were reluctant to report it. DeYoung pled guilty to desertion. Colleagues defended his work ethic, and instead of jail time, he was reprimanded and fined $5,000. DeYoung was seeking counseling, but he still had never shared all the skeletons in his closet. Then his former Ohio State classmates opened up, and the skeletons spilled out.
I was angry that somebody was speaking out. I was angry that somebody was taking what I saw as something as a deep, dark secret and putting it out there for the public.
Ohio State launched an investigation that found officials at the university knew Strauss was sexually abusive as early as 1979. It's now one of the biggest sexual misconduct cases in U.S. history. DeYoung is joining hundreds of other alumni, many of them former athletes, in suing the school. He opened up to his family, and that's been helping ease his torment.
There is a road to recovery. It's available to you. Don't make harsh, instantaneous, don't hurt yourselves. It ain't worth hurting yourself for the trauma that somebody else perpetrated against you. It's not your fault that these things happened.
DeYoung still cheers for Ohio State, and he swims occasionally. He tries not to think about the career he could have had, and he's choosing to let these mementos remind him of his wins, not his losses. Elizabeth McMillan, CBC News, Halifax.